6 p.m. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Prime Minister has directed to enhance coordination at the provincial level to achieve the targets in the agriculture sector. Pakistan and Cuba have agreed to enhance bilateral cooperation in pharmaceuticals, herbal medicine, and biotechnology. The foreign minister says Pakistan will continue its political, moral, and diplomatic support to the oppressed Kashmiris. In occupied Kashmir, the Indian troops in their fresh act of state terrorism have martyred another youth in Islamabad, Anantnag district. The United Nations has called for national dialogue to resolve the ongoing anti-government protests in Iraq. Pakistan women beat Bangladesh by 28 runs in the third and last T20 match at Lahore today, winning the series 3-0. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Imran Khan says facilitating the small farmers is amongst the foremost priorities of the present government. He was chairing a meeting in Islamabad today, which reviewed matters pertaining to the agro-production, especially the facilitation of small farmers. The Prime Minister pointed out that the agriculture policy, especially the focus on facilitation of small farmers, is a manifestation of the government's commitment towards the agriculture sector. Imran Khan noted that extending facilities to small farmers will not only bolster agriculture yield, but also help alleviate poverty and improve the economic condition. The Prime Minister directed to enhance coordination amongst the provinces to achieve the targets in the agriculture sector. The President, Dr. Arif Alvi, says relations between Pakistan and Cuba are based on shared ideals of respect for sovereignty, territorial integrity, peaceful coexistence, equality, and mutual benefit. He was talking to the Vice President of Cuba, Roberto Morales Odeja, in Islamabad today. The president appreciated the Cuban scholarship program for Pakistani medical students offered after the October 2005 earthquake. The president apprised the Cuban dignitary on the precarious situation in Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir in the wake of the unilateral and illegal steps by India to alter the internationally recognized disputed status of Jammu and Kashmir. Meanwhile, Pakistan and Cuba have also signed an agreement to partially withdraw visa condition between the two countries. Under the agreement, the people who have diplomatic, official, and special passports will not require visa to enter each other's country. The visa agreement will help expand bilateral relations and strengthen trade, cultural, and diplomatic ties between the two countries. The Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi has underlined the need for enhancing economic cooperation and people-to-people exchanges between Pakistan and Cuba to strengthen bilateral ties. Talking to the Cuban Vice President Roberto Morales Odeja in Islamabad today, he said there is enormous potential for Pakistan and Cuba to enhance cooperation in the health and agriculture sectors. Appreciating the Cuban advancement in the field of biotechnology, the foreign minister proposed collaboration in research and development for production of life-saving vaccines. The foreign minister also briefed the Cuban delegation on India's unilateral and illegal actions of 5th of August in the Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. While highlighting the ongoing sufferings of the innocent people, he encouraged Cuba to raise its voice against the human rights violations in occupied Kashmir. The Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi has said Pakistan will continue its political, moral, and diplomatic support to the oppressed Kashmiris. He was briefing the National Assembly Standing Committee on Foreign Relations in Islamabad today. The minister said occupied Kashmir has been under constant curfew for the last 87 days, where gross human rights violations are continuing. The committee also deliberated upon various aspects to highlight the ongoing Indian oppression against the innocent Kashmiris at the international level. The advisor on finance, Dr. Abdul Hafiz Sheikh, says the statistics of the first quarter of the current financial year indicate that the country's economy is on the right track and it is gradually stabilizing. He gave these remarks during a meeting with Pakistan's permanent representative at the United Nations, Munir Akram, in Islamabad today. The advisor on finance informed Munir Akram about the measures taken for the improvement of the national economy and their positive results. The World Bank President David Malpass arrives in Islamabad tomorrow on a two-day visit to Pakistan. He will hold talks with the Pakistani leadership and discuss means to strengthen the economy of the country. The visit carries special significance in the backdrop of Pakistan's recent inclusion among the top 20 global reformers on Ease of Doing Business Index. Pakistan jumped up 28 places on the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business Index and secured a place among the top 10 countries with the most improved business climate. This is Radio Pakistan. A 30-member delegation of Pakistani, Afghan, and Chinese diplomats called on the Punjab Governor Chaudhry Mohammad Sarwar in Lahore today. Regional situation, Kashmir issue, war against terrorism, and other issues were discussed during the meeting. Talking to them, the governor said peace could not be established in the region until and unless the Kashmir issue is not resolved in accordance with the United Nations resolutions and the aspirations of the Kashmiri people. Preparations are in full swing to open the world's largest Gurdwara in Kartarpur. The federal government has decided to invite star celebrity cricketer Navjot Singh Sindhu in the opening ceremony. Senator Faisal Javed has contacted Navjot Singh Sindhu on special directions of the Prime Minister Imran Khan and invited him to attend the opening ceremony, which he accepted. In his remarks, Navjot Singh Sindhu said he is thankful to the Prime Minister of Pakistan for inviting him to this historic ceremony. In occupied Kashmir, the people in the Kashmir Valley and Muslim-majority areas of Jammu region continue to face hardships on the 87th consecutive day today due to military clampdown and ban on communications network. According to the Kashmir Media Service, the ban on voice calls on postpaid phones and landline connections have been partially lifted, yet internet across all platforms and prepaid cellular phones continue to remain suspended. As part of an ongoing civil disobedience movement, shopkeepers continue to shut their shops, students remain away from schools, and traffic is off the road. The Indian troops, in their fresh act of state terrorism, martyred a Kashmiri youth in a fake encounter during a cordon and search operation in Bij Behara area of Islamabad and Anantnag district. Meanwhile, the Indian government has miserably failed to depict normalcy in occupied Kashmir on the occasion of the two-day visit by the European Union lawmakers to the Kashmir Valley. The visiting team found cities in Kashmir Valley deserted, and the government did not allow anybody from political parties and trade unions to meet them. The dissident political leaders from the Indian state of Manipur have declared independence from India and forming a government in exile in Britain. Addressing a press conference in London, representatives of Manipur's king, Lashemba Sanajoba, also announced formation of Manipur State Council. The Chief Minister Yamban Biren and Minister of External Affairs and Defense Naringam Samarthjit of the Manipur State Council said they believe that now is the time to make public the independent government of Manipur before the international community and seek recognition. The United Nations has called for holding national dialogue to resolve the ongoing anti-government protests in Iraq. In a statement, the United Nations Secretary General's Special Representative for Iraq, Jeanine Hennis-Plaskiot, condemned the rising toll in the violent protests. And finally, cricket. Pakistan women beat Bangladesh by 28 runs in the third and last T20 match at Lahore today, winning the series 3-0. Batting first, Pakistan set a victory target of 118 runs. In reply, Bangladesh scored 89 runs in the stipulated overs for the loss of 8 wickets. Both the teams will play 2 one-day internationals, and the first match will be played on Friday in Lahore. Weather. Mainly dry weather is expected in most parts of the country, while cold weather conditions in northern areas during the next 24 hours. However, cloudy weather conditions with rain and dust storm is expected at coastal areas of Sindh and Quetta, Kalat, Sibbi, whereas cloudy weather conditions with rain and snowfall have been forecast over high mountains at isolated places in Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan. Light rain is also expected in Islamabad during night hours. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.